always. First the blade like ball fades. Echo when I let go of this praise in the hallway. Special, the way he wrestled with the devil. The pedal to the meadow while leveling up all day. Yeah. It's always first the blade like ball fades. Echo when I let go of this praise in the hallway. Special, the way he wrestled with the devil. The pedal to the meadow while leveling up all day.
Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's having a great day, a blessed day, a highly favored day, a day of fun, a day of happiness, a day of joy. I just want to apologize for the delay this afternoon. We had a slight lighting issue with our guests. So we're trying to work that out, make sure that it got, we want to see her. You want to be able to see her, you know, not just hear her. So we had to make sure we get that straight. So we got it. We're good to go. Thank you all for tuning in. I am your host, Tristan T, at the TDT Poshcast right here on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel to help the TDT Poshcast get out there. Also, you can follow me on Poshmark at TDT Garnett. So YouTube, the TDT Poshcast, and then also my new Instagram account, the TDT Poshcast. And of course, here on the TDT Poshcast, I interview live show hosts. And, you find a little bit more about your favorite live show hosts. You can ask questions. They offer great advice on how to get your closet started and, how to have a live show, the background setting, just all the different things that a lot of people who are still contemplating going live, they have a lot of questions. I hear a lot of questions. So we're here to answer those questions. We're here to have fun. And we're here to get to know more about your Poshers, your favorite Posh show hosts. And of course, this is live, y'all. So if you're here watching, let us know you're watching. And we'll put your comments on the screen so we can read them. Kim Key. Now, who was Kim Key? I was talking to the guest earlier. She said she don't know who Kim. Who is this Pink Kim? Because, on YouTube, the names are different. I don't know who this is. Kim Key. Thank you for joining, though. KK is in the building. And there she is, the one and only Danielle, the only person that get fired from Posh on a day off. How you doing? Nels is in the building. Good to see you. And then, of course, Miss D. What's going on, Miss D? Good to see you, Miss D. Is in the building. So let's go ahead and bring in our guest for this evening. Also, if you want to see more interviews with Posh Live hosts, go ahead and I'm live we'll be doing this every Sunday at 6:00 p.m. Central Standard Time right here on YouTube. So my next guest on the TDT Poshcast is happy Sunday to you, Nels. What's going on? Reese is in the building. Threads of Reese from New Orleans in the house. My next guest for today is an amazing Posh show host. The thing that made me drawn to her is her courageous. She was very courageous in regards to saying what she believes on Poshmark. She doesn't care what people thinks. She'll encourage you. She'll give you inspiration no matter what you think about it. She's always true to herself. She's very inspirational. Very nice. She has a nice closet as well. And she's fun. She's a lot of fun. She'd be tripping sometimes. We may find that out here in a few moments, but she's very fun. And, so she's become one of my good Posh friends on Poshmark. And she's live with us right here in the studio. Everybody, let's welcome the one, the only Mel, a.k.a. A Dreamer's Chase. I call her Melly Mel. But let's welcome Melly Mel to the studio. What's up, Melly Mel?
T, what is going on?
Oh, what's going on with you? How you doing on this Sunday?
I am peachy. We had a lounging day, so I was downstairs doing a lot of the Posh stuff, trying to get caught up, and here I am. I look a little hazy, so I'm sorry. I'm still trying to. I don't look as crisp as you in your lighting.
Well, that's all right. I'm here. Can y'all see her? If we can see her, we're good to go. Y'all can see her. Y'all can hear her. I think we're good to go. But thank you, Mel, for taking the time out. Like I always say, Sundays is the day where people just kind of hang out and relax with family, chill, eat some good food. You know what I mean? And so thank you for taking time out on this Sunday to be my guest here on the TDT Podcast. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me. I mean, thank you for asking. It's an honor. It's actually a huge compliment. So thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Of course, yes. Danielle says she can see you.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm a little hazy, but
she's a little hazy.
But it works.
but it works. She's good. She's good. All right. So for those of you who don't know, what I guess we can start here. Where do you live? Where do you reside?
So I reside in Ohio. I live probably 30 minutes from downtown Cleveland, east of Cleveland. I grew
Okay.
up in California. I grew up in Los Angeles, but when I moved here, I was 12. So I'm pretty much an Ohioan now.
Okay. LeBron James fan, Cleveland, Ohio, Akron.
I mean, you have to be a LeBron. I mean, the thing about Cleveland that I love is that because obviously our football team has always been trying, right? We are diehard fans,
Right.
fair weather. So of course
Die
we
hard.
LeBron. We felt a little betrayed,
Yeah.
a little, but yeah, LeBron was good.
Well, if you're still a LeBron fan, at least they made the playoffs with he's with the Lakers, and the Lakers made the playoffs, so you can still watch them until they get kicked out. But yes,
Or he leaves. Yeah.
or he
He
leaves.
comes back
Okay,
to
yes.
Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. What is it like there in Cleveland? Like, how is it?
Like the weather or just in general?
Just the weather and like, I've never been to Cleveland. I've never been to
So, you know
Ohio.
what? Um, the older I get, the more unbearable the winters become. Not it's not just because of the cold. Cleveland gets a lot, or Ohio in general, is very
Hmm.
gray. We don't get a whole lot
Gray.
of sunlight. So there's a lot of seasonal
Okay.
depression. We got to take extra vitamins. It's dark. So it's dark when you go to work, and then
Okay.
right after daylight savings time. And then it's dark when you leave work. So you're dealing with that for months. So other than that, though, we have 4 seasons. The fall here is absolutely beautiful. Summer here is good, and it's a nice place to raise a family. I mean, it's not expensive. It's affordable.
Hmm.
You can be in a decent area, and to be able to afford it. So I think to raise a family, um, I mean, it really is a good choice. So I can't really complain. I'm not a winter girl.
You're not a winter girl. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, it's also a home of the ballers because you're one of the baller shot callers right here on Posh. So we can tell Cleveland has some of those people with the moolah cheddar cheese, the guap.
If you
You know what
make
I
me
mean?
laugh,
So
I'm gonna cough up my lungs.
you're gonna cough up your what now? Your lungs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been
Okay.
sick for like 9 weeks, but it's no big deal.
Oh, I
Just
mentioned you
everybody
so
come move to Ohio.
yeah, everybody moved to Ohio. Danielle, yes, we know. Baby girl just wants to let you know that. I mean, Miss D wants to let you know that Danielle is nails. She always
Yes.
yeah, she always lets people know stuff that they already know. So thank you, Miss D. We know,
Nelly,
but
Nelly
yeah,
Nells.
Nelly Nell is in
I
the
love
building.
her. I love
Yeah,
her.
she was my first guest on the TDT podcast. What's a normal day like for you? Like in Posh and outside of Posh?
Hmm. It's a good question. So I work full time. I work in business development management in for the I'm not going to do the acronyms because HVAC, which is heating and air. I
Okay.
work and I sell planned maintenance agreements to like hospitals and schools. So that's my full time job. But I also work for a women's center. I work with women that are post abortive. And
Mm,
the center itself, we are a nonprofit and we see women in unplanned pregnancies. So I work on
okay.
that and then I do Posh. So essentially 3 jobs.
Okay. And I bet you they're glad to have you because you're a very inspirational person. So I know you're there providing words of wisdom and encouragement to those ladies. I would assume so.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate you. It's the most rewarding work I've ever done. I mean,
Right.
obviously, nonprofit doesn't pay the bills, but if I was in a position to where I could do that full time, that's where I'd be for sure.
Right.
It's just rewarding to be able to be a piece in women's healing journeys and to
Hmm.
be able to lead them down the path of hope and healing. And
Yeah.
actually, it's always a privilege when somebody opens up to you
Hmm.
about some of the darkest, deepest parts of themselves and be a piece in that journey. So it's like I said, it's the most rewarding work I've ever done. And
Yeah.
it's listen, it's staffed with amazing women, amazing women.
Okay, and I can see that feeds over into your Posh live shows. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. Reese says she is speaking complete health and healing your way. She wants to let you know you're healed and made
Thank
whole.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Yeah,
Reese.
yeah. Reese is also a woman of God as well, a woman of the Most High
Amen.
God. Reese
Praise
in the
God. Yep.
building. Yes. Regarding Poshmark now, when did you join Poshmark? How long have you been on there?
Oh gosh, I think I joined in 2016, but I was a buyer only. I didn't even think about selling. I was just
Oh,
shopping.
okay.
Yeah.
See,
And it
usually
wasn't
people
in
who see what happens is millionaires they don't think about selling. They just always
uh,
buy. So it's understandable. It's understandable. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, so I didn't go and I didn't start having my own closet until it was January of last year. So it's been what, a
Mm,
year and a half about?
okay.
Yeah.
I, I didn't know it was. I thought it was longer. Okay, so not that long
Mm-mm.
then.
No, yeah, I started in January. I started, just like probably a lot of people, just sort of purged my closet and
Hmm.
just tested the waters, and then I just got really addicted to it. It was fun. So then that's
Right.
when I started sourcing things, and it went off from there. And then it became like a mission with that Posh ambassador thing. You had to meet
Right.
that criteria. So it
Yeah.
became like a goal. And here I am.
And here you are. For people who don't who may watch this and don't know who you are, what kind of items can they expect in your closet? That they want to buy some items. If they go to your closet, what will they find?
So, that I did some research on that. There's a two
Mm-hmm.
part, or it's going to take, I'll give you a backdrop before I answer that question directly.
Backdrop. Okay.
On, because I didn't really know, like, some people have their niche, right? Like some people, they're free people, they are luxe, they are straight, just jewelry accessories. I didn't
Yes.
really, I didn't really have like an idea of what is my niche. So when I did some research, I decided to build a closet that was very diverse, meaning
Okay.
bags, accessories, clothes, and things of different amounts, because I really wanted to cater to everybody and
Mm-hmm.
all budgets. I didn't, and the message behind that is really, I didn't want anyone to feel excluded. And when I decided to go
Mm.
live, I didn't want to pigeonhole anybody. Like, not everybody's got a luxe budget, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
so I like to have a closet that fits those budgets, to where everybody has an opportunity, if they see something they want, to either
Mm-hmm.
bid on it or make an offer.
Okay. So you were real strategic when you went out and sourced. You didn't just go out and just pick items to just sell everything. You thought about everyone. That's
Yes.
nice of you.
Yeah.
Yes. So they can find luxury items as well as items that aren't luxuries, things that anyone
Correct.
can afford, pretty much.
Yep. You mean boutique, some boutique, unbranded stuff, accessories.
Hmm.
I'm really big into jewelry. So there's a lot of jewelry there. You have shoes, you have clothes.
Right.
I don't really have too much like boutique, like just like, I'm trying to get an example, like boutique pens and like that you would find in a boutique store. So it
Right.
really does fall under the umbrella of bags, jewelry, and clothes and shoes.
Okay. Hey, Gwen is watching. Good to see you, Gwen. Thank you for joining. And do you feel like how has it been for you on Posh? Has it been busy? Has it been slow, or is it up and down? How has it been as far as the sales for just the
So
closet?
yeah, and since I'm newer, I'm like just learning the like trying to figure out the trends. Obviously it
Okay.
does have its ups and downs. I would
Right.
say probably the last month or so it's been a little bit slower than normal, but I don't know necessarily how all that algorithm works on Poshmark, because there will be days where you're just I'm getting a lot of hits on the closet.
Right.
But in the auctions themselves, each show, there hasn't been like a study where I'm like, okay, are Mondays bad days, or these times bad days? Because you have all these shows going on, right? You have a bunch of
Yes.
shows.
Yeah.
Is it before tax season, after tax season, before or after Christmas? So I'm trying to still learn what those trends look like. But like last week,
Hmm.
um, on the auction, I mean, the sales were decent, but everybody was robbing. Whereas the week
Mm.
before, the sales were good and people were respecting the brand and seller more. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So it's like up and down, and I'm still learning. Is it me? Is it the audience? Is it the time of
It's
year?
it's
There's
not
so many
you, first of
moving
all.
pieces.
Don't, you can rule that out. It's not you. You know. So that's not no.
Yeah,
You said is it you? It's not you.
it could be. What if I'm not
I don't
saying
think so.
something right? What if, I mean, I'm never going to pressure anybody. I mean, I definitely don't want to do that. But, maybe it's something that I could try to really drive home on the not robbing, but at the same time, because of my spiritual beliefs,
Yes.
I also I also know in the back of my mind that Posh is it's a breeding ground of shopaholics.
Right.
And so in the back of my mind, I definitely don't want to be a stumbling block to those people. So it's finding that balance to where you want to encourage sales, but I don't want to pressure anybody to buy if they don't have it.
Right. Gotcha. And when you say robbed, you say you've seen a lot. Is that you mean like what do you mean? Like a $3 start and then it sells for $3?
Well, it's not that bad, because then I would probably prohibit low starts. But
Yes,
like let's
yes.
say you have a new without tags Kate Spade wristlet, and they start at $3 and it goes for 16.
Right.
That's robbing. But in that case, we have a really good family. The people that come every Monday are pretty good. So when they know that they got something a little bit lower than, you want a deal, but you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
steal. And I always say that we're not thieves in here. We want to respect the brand and the seller, and
Right.
all that goes entailed to what it takes to actually list something. We got to pay
Mm-hmm.
ourselves too. So they're really good about bundling when
Yes.
they do that. It's not every time, but they do pretty good with they realize like, yeah, I may have gone a little too low on this. Maybe I should have custom bid this, so that they'll go and bundle in the closet. So that's good.
Well, that's good. You have some nice people out there. Yeah. Hey, Reese
Yeah,
says it's definitely not you. Reese says it's definitely not you. She thinks and many people are experiencing what you're experiencing. So it's not, that's what I was saying. You need to rule yourself out.
appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you always want to self-examine. Like after every show, I always try to, okay, what could we have done better? Did it go efficiently? Was it too slow? Is it too fast?
Mm-hmm.
You want to have a good, efficient show. You definitely want to sell things, that keeps people coming back. And that's the whole point. But I think a lot of it too is there are just so many shows on.
There
And
is.
that,
Yes.
yeah, that's just a huge piece. People are either tapped out, they spent everything they had, or they're just going into other shows, which not really sure that there's a way to really prevent that. It's just you got to have that. Some
No.
people are going to connect to you, or some people aren't.
Right. Yeah. Y'all, you can't prevent it. Like you just said, some
Right.
people connect, some people aren't. You'll find your target audience. But yes, there are a lot of shows. Even like sometimes I wake up at maybe 1, 2 a.m. It's still like 35 shows on. I'm like, man, nobody
Yeah,
goes to bed. Everybody
I know.
stays up all night. And then you have people like Threads of Reese who wake up early, 6 a.m. on a live show. So people are just all over the place
Yeah, they
when
are.
it comes. Yeah, they just go live any time of the day or night. And then, it's there now because when a few years ago, when they first when they first released the live show feature, it was only available to certain people, so you had less shows. So that means you had every show can have like 50 viewers or 60 viewers because there weren't so many. Now it's real spread out. So you kind
Yeah,
of build it. You have to build it up. What's your schedule for those who want to see you on your live shows? When do you go live?
I go live once a week, and those are Mondays. So I'll be live tomorrow, and it's
Okay.
usually between 2 and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard
Mm-hmm.
Time. That's
2
when
and
my
3
shows.
p.m. Okay.
Hmm.
So everybody
Yep.
go to A Dreamer's Chase on Poshmark, like her live show listing, 2 to 3 p.m. every Monday. What's you said Eastern, right?
Eastern. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we have a picture, we have an image of your live show listing. You sent me one of the images. Let me just take a look and see if
I
I
know. I
can
wish
get
I
it
had a
here.
video. I didn't even think about recording one of the shows.
Hey, but I have a video. I was gonna surprise you,
You
but
do?
yes, I have a video and I was gonna surprise you with it. Oh, I gotta load the live shows back in. But yeah, I do have a video. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I'm just gonna play it. We're gonna talk about it. Well, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like you know, urinating on yourself, stuff you be doing. It's none of that type of stuff.
Well, that's the
Uh,
fun part. I'm all reserved right now.
well, I
That's
don't
the
think people
fun
want to
part.
see, you know, urine. But anyways, so here's her live show listing. Everyone, here, let's pop this up real quick. It says, "Straighten that crown. Come to the table prepared to help change culture. Straighten that crown." Now, what does that mean? Straighten that crown. What do you mean by that?
So, the crown emoji, I wanted when I got into this, I knew it was going to be sales slash ministry.
Yes.
And the challenging part about trying to talk about God in a selling platform is how do I do this without seeming like I'm using God as a selling strategy? Because that's not at all what I'm doing. So, a couple things that I did. So, everything is intentional. One of them, you'll never find anything faith based in my tray. You won't find me selling Bibles. You won't sell me selling Crown T-shirts. They're all going to be
Okay.
normal items
Right.
because if somebody wants a Bible, I'll get them a Bible and send it to them. The crown represents two things. The first and most primary is the crown of Christ.
Okay.
So when we drop crowns in the chat, when we bid on something, or the crowns that are on the flyers, it represents Christ. The second reason that we use crowns is for each other, to empower each other, to straighten each other's crowns. Because I always say that this world kicks our butts a little bit. And, there's so
Right.
many of us that struggle with self-worth. We deal with their insecurities. Women are the most fragile, most beautiful, most complex creatures in the world. And so sometimes I'll wear my crown and I'll have it crooked. And then when somebody bids, I'll straighten it. And it's just our way of, it's not about the money, it's the message behind it, which most of the time that's really what it's about.
Right.
Somebody isn't necessarily buying because they want that item. It's that they are saying that I see you and I appreciate you. So that's the second representation of the crown.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more about that as well because I like what you're doing here on Posh. What made you, because there's not a lot of people doing what you do, you turned it, you saw the opportunity to also turn it into an inspirational, motivational, spiritual show, not just selling, buying and selling. What is that something? Was that your whole intention when you did it, or you saw it maybe as an opportunity to do so? And what led you to just want to motivate and encourage women and help them get stronger and tell them God is with them and not against them? What led you
Yeah.
to actually do that?
Well, I knew that I was going to have a faith-based type show. It was
Hmm.
just, I really didn't know which direction because I didn't know what to expect of the lives. So
Right.
I sort of just walked that through with God, right? I mean, it was
Okay.
something we unfolded together and let his spirit just sort of evolve it where it wanted to go. It started
Hmm.
off with really just doing prayer requests. That's
Okay.
why we do prayer requests before we start the show.
Right.
And it gives us an opportunity to really see each other's hearts and
Hmm.
not dehumanize, which we have a tendency to do on social media, and
Right.
really see that we're real people going through real things. And it's a way to really bridge connection between everybody. But where it is now and what it became was something that I couldn't have thought of that in the beginning. That was a God thing. God is
Right.
growing that in that direction. But I've always had a passion for women. And I
Hmm.
work with women, like I said, at the Women's Center. And I saw this as an opportunity, being a woman dominating platform, to minister through the lens of technology. Just how it
Right.
was going to be done was again something like, I'm not going to try to jump ahead. Let's just sort of see what God has. And so everything that we've done up to this point really has been spirit led.
Yes, and you talk something you said was important is that oftentimes on social media when people have issues going on, they often made fun of and things like that. But
Oh yeah.
you've made it a safe place here in your show, which is why I think it's still increasing. Sometimes I see you with 70 viewers, 80 viewers, and everyone. The thing about it is, I believe everyone who's watching is a believer, because from what I've seen, everybody's chiming in, and some people even put scriptures in the chat. A lot of people say amen and thank you, Lord. So you've kind of made it a center, if you will, on Posh for where the believers go to be encouraged and to be motivated. So I think that's great that you did that, and that's one of the reasons why I was drawn to you. You know what I mean?
I
And
appreciate.
yeah, you made it a safe place to do so. And now, let me ask you this: have you received any pushback? Because people go to Posh because really it's a buying selling platform, and then they come in your
Sure.
show. Have you received pushback from the viewers? Have you received pushback from Poshmark themselves about what you're doing there?
I was kind of expecting that, but as of right
Mm-hmm.
now, no pushback from Poshmark, and surprisingly, no. There seems to be a lot of respect. And to your
Yes.
comment, there are a lot of believers, but I think a lot too, it's people that um, don't necessarily know God.
Right.
Now, I'm not
Yeah.
saying
Good
as
point.
extreme as an atheist, but
Right.
somebody who's hungry for hope and hungry for healing. And so, I'm just a God messenger, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when they stay there to hear the message or the prayer, that's God working through them. So I know a lot of times they might not understand why they're so pulled in, why they're so drawn in, because we're all
Right.
we're all created in the image of Christ. So we all were made
Yes.
to worship him. So I think there's a lot of people that are just drawn to that message of hope. But no, I mean, I have not had, anyone that I can think of say anything disrespectful or any kind of pushback from Posh. Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah. Hopefully it does stay that way. But that's a
Yeah.
good point. A lot of people may not know why they're there, or not quite. They're not really, followers of Christ, some of them, but they're there because there's a thirst for,
Yes.
righteousness, and a thirst for their needs being met.
Exactly.
So, and you provide that. That's great. What um what do you think? So you go live once a week,
Mhm.
and do you plan on doing more shows during the week, or are you going to stick right now to just one show a week?
So I do pop-ups every once in a while. I do big shows every few months. We just had an Easter show in
Mm-hmm.
March that was absolutely amazing. It was a
Yes, it
2-day
was.
show. So every 3 months, like the next one will be July. It'll be Christmas in July. But the reason I stick to once a week, not just because I've got a busy schedule, but because again, everything is intentional. Poshmark can be very time consuming
Yes.
and very addictive. And I know for a fact
Yeah.
there are some people who should be present for the people in their lives, their spouses, their kids, and they're
Right.
on two devices. So I don't want to encourage that. Now people are going to do what they're going to do. But
Right.
I certainly, if I were to go on 3 days a week, these shows
Mm-hmm.
can be hours. That means
Yes.
with me alone, they're on there for 6 to 8 hours and probably other shows. I don't want to
Mhm.
encourage that. So that's why I really stick to once a week. And again, they could be going on every single day, but it's the message I'm sending that, you have lives. Be present for your kids, be present for your spouses, be present for
Yes.
your friends, because it could take up your life. And I've noticed that really, really quickly how addictive Poshmark can be.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It can be very. I've heard from different people in regards to how addictive it can be, and they don't realize that all they do is Posh, But it's
That
good to have.
hours.
Yeah, it's good to have. Because you can because really it's about making money. The platform,
It
so
is.
you can
Yeah.
still sell items just directly from your closet without going live. Like I was
I
talking to
mean, I
Reese.
think the auctions really sort of killed the closet sales. But to your point,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's why I tell people, I say, you're probably going to be better use of your time rather than show hopping and dropping items in each show, to really find a couple shows that you connect with and
mm-hmm,
really spend your time getting to know the people in there and the host. And because you're more apt to make money when people know you, because
right.
people are going to buy from people they like, period.
Yeah.
So when
I've
I get
noticed that you
extra,
have the repeat buyers. Yeah, I noticed that as well.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that shouldn't
Ab
limit your time on Posh.
Absolute Affluence is in the building and has a question. I think
Yeah.
this is a guy. How many sales do you get a day? You want to
That
know?
varies. That
Yeah,
varies. No,
I
that's a
believe it
really good
varies. Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So, if you're talking in terms of like closet sales, if we talk
Mm-hmm.
about closet sales, I might get like something out of my closet, like from an offer, maybe once a week.
Mm.
But because we have built a community and we have invested in relationships, and so many of the people that I know are also live show hosts. I know
Right.
somebody that goes live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I go in there. I probably would get maybe a sale or two a day. And
Right.
there's a couple days where I don't get anything. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
normal, but on
Yes.
average, it's probably one or two a day.
About 1 or 2 a day. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, of course.
So I have another image that you sent. Let's take a look at it.
Uh-oh. Yes.
Special show. Okay, this is your special show flyer. Christmas
Yes.
in July. So this coming July, the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Save the dates, everybody. Talk about that. What is this happening? Christmas in July.
So the Christmas in July, how I'm going to do it this year, Jesus was actually born in the summer. It's not really December 25th. So I am going to encompass Jesus's birthday. But it's going to mirror what the Easter and Christmas show were. So the Easter show on Saturday, as you know, because you were amazing, and I cannot thank you enough for coming on. We represented the crucifixion, and Sunday we represented the resurrection.
Right.
We did sins to the cross. We washed
Mhm.
away sins. We did live testimonies. But what
Yeah.
these shows really are designed to do is bring the community in. And
Mm.
there's a sign up to where you can do they're mystery boxes. So you do your
Okay.
own mystery box, but the requirement is you have to come on screen and talk about it. We auction
Mm.
it off and then you reveal it. And then there's a low start day. So one of the days it's all low starts. But the same thing, you have to come on screen, do your low start. But in
Right.
between doing all that, there's messages. There's, like I said, there's stories, there's
Hmm.
prayer time. So I haven't really, I'm still in prayer about how the Christmas in July one's going to be. But
Okay.
that was what I'm giving an example of what the Easter was. And
Right.
we just had people just sharing, stories of redemption and, the way God's worked in their lives. And
Hmm.
it's bringing the community together, what these shows really are meant to do.
It is. And now, for those of you who don't know, kind of, you've never seen her show, you don't know what quite understand what she's talking about. I have a clip that I'm going
Oh,
to play
great.
here. Well, it's nothing
Well,
like that. It's just a very encouraging clip. Just kind of,
okay.
it shows your show. It talks about a little bit what you're about, what you stand for. So I have a little short clip we're going to play, and then we'll be right back with A Dreamer's Chase.
Full time. But for me, doing Poshmark, I want to make extra money, but it's ministry for me. So to me, it's an opportunity to use a platform for something powerful and something good. So everything that I do and everything that I say is with heartfelt prayer, and I try as much as I possibly can to be spirit-led, okay? Today's show is about the community. It's about you guys. It's about bringing everybody together. Well, everybody is a big broad, but whoever God has decided fit at a time such as this, it's to bring the community together, guys. It's to bring, this is why I don't bend the rules with bringing, if you signed up for a mystery box, you have to come on screen. We want to see you. We want to know you. We want to hear a part of your story.
So that right there, that basically sums it up. You know what I mean? You're
That
here
was
to
perfect.
motivate. You're here to inspire. Of course, you're here to sell items and share items as well. But you're using this platform to it's bigger than Posh, is what I'm hearing. It's bitter. It's bigger than, you're not only helping people make money, but you're helping them be better people, and you're helping them be better servants of Christ. You're helping them become who God has called them to be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you're helping them in all of those areas. And which is why I believe, a lot of people are drawn to you. That's what you've known for here. If I need inspiration, let's go to A Dreamer's Chase. Let's go to her show because she's going to give us some inspiration. And
Praise God.
and then the song in the background, the music was very soothing, very relaxing, just chill. You know what I mean? And it was good. It was great. So like she said, everyone, if this come in July, the 11th and the 12th, right? 11th, 12th.
The 11th, 12th, and it's actually 3 days, but the 11th isn't really going to be a share show. It's a little surprise
Okay.
it's setting up for the 12th and the 13th. So it's not going to be a long thing where I'm going to probably log on for maybe an hour and talk about some things, that we're going to do for the 12th and the 13th. But yes, and I encourage anybody to participate.
Yeah.
And see, one of the other important things I want to note when you say it's bigger than Posh,
Mhm.
I always tell them, I always say to everyone, I said, look, the Posh season can, that season can end at any time. The goal is
Right.
to really understand that you have a purpose and you have a voice.
Yes. Mhm.
And find it. Posh is a great way, an opportunity to just sort of test the waters on who we are. It's why I encourage people to go live. That's why they have to come on live, because most of them, they're just scared. They're nervous. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, because stepping outside of our comfort zone is a requirement for growth. And the world is going to bombard us with those opportunities. And so that's what I mean. Everything is intentional. I'm not just trying to say you have to come on because of this.
Right.
There's intention behind that. And it's always driven right towards purpose and growth.
The beautiful Crystal T is in the building. She said that was elevation worship, what you were listening to.
Yeah.
Elevation worship.
Yes.
Yeah. She's an elevation worship fanatic.
They're
Yeah.
amazing. They're amazing.
Yes, they are. One thing you said that was very important. You just said that stepping out of your comfort zone is a requirement for growth. I believe something like that you said. Yeah, that's important. That's very important. And you also mentioned there are a lot of postures who, which I've seen as well, that they're still kind of contemplating going live, or they may say they're nervous. They say I'm gonna do my first live show this weekend, but then they postpone it to next week, and you're not ready. What kind of tips can you give to people, since you have a lot of experience with going live? Again, have a lot of viewers. You inspire a lot of people. What kind of tips do you think a new person who's never been live, what can they do to help them overcome that fear or that anxiety or just the nervousness, and to also have a great, first show?
Yeah. So again, there's a couple. One, it goes back to, this is why it's important that you find shows that you can connect with, because, and I know I will make myself available. If anybody wants to go live and they're nervous, I'll be happy to bring you on just so you can get a test of that. And a lot of hosts will do that. If they know that somebody is going live for the first time, they're a little nervous, they're going to open up their doors as well. So there's that. Don't be afraid to reach out. So if you made a connection with someone, say, you know what, I'm thinking of going live. I kind of got the jitters a little bit. Do you mind if I just kind of come on and see what it's about? But the other thing is, I always compare it to, it's change, right? We're being confronted because we're nervous, because we're being confronted with an insecurity within ourselves. Am I going to sound like an idiot? Is anyone going to come? Am I going to be good enough?
Yeah.
And these lies are bombarding us. And the biggest tip is you got to combat those lies. Even if 2 people come, that's not the goal. The goal shouldn't, that our goals are set wrong then. That's why I'm not a big numbers person. When somebody goes, oh, you had like this many people, it doesn't mean anything if it's not quality, right? Don't worry about the numbers. Just, you know what? Just say, I'm going live and I'm going to do this. And that is my only goal, is to get past that stumbling block. Because that's what they are. They're lies. They're absolute. And those lies, if we let them sink deep enough, it's really going to cause us, or create, not us, keep pushing it back. Like you said, T, well, I'll do it next week. And that's the majority of people end up leaving this earth, not ever accomplishing their dreams or goals, because that next week, that next month never became a day. And so I'm going to tell you, there's nothing horrible that's going to happen. You're going to feel good saying, my goal is to go on and step outside my comfort zone and face this fear. Even if you're still scared, you do it scared, but you do it. And that would really be the biggest tip, because is that self-awareness that anytime any of those thoughts get in your head, just know that they are lies. They are absolute lies, and you're going to do just fine. And then after the first show, it gets easier, just like a first day of a new job. You're nervous, but as soon as you get through your first day, it's all uphill from there because you get used to it. You know the processes. You know, it's like second nature. You start, and you will have a following. You will.
Yes.
There is no doubt you will.
Great
And
points
it takes
right
time.
there.
Yeah.
It takes time. See, even those points, you're just basically saying it's bigger than Posh because
It is.
you
Yeah.
talked about the lies and the thoughts. Those are not only apply to going live, but it applies to everything that you do in life. You know what I mean?
And
So,
one of the things too that I noticed, and I'll just say this really quick, that's really scary about Posh that I want to
what's
make
that?
people aware of is the hosts, no matter who they are, they have an opportunity to lead. Okay. They are leading. And there's a lot that obviously everybody has their niche,
Right.
that could go in the opposite direction. I have seen people, whatever that host says, the people in the chat do, or they say. It's like Simon says, it's automatic mirroring that host. And that's terrifying. And that is another reason why I want to encourage more people to go live, spread the message of hope, give people a voice, be bold in what you believe in. You don't have to follow every single person if you know something is not of sound mind, right?
Right. Right.
You
Right.
can set yourself apart, but that is the kind of platform we're in because there's money involved. And whenever there's
Yes.
money involved, you will compromise who you are and what you want for that money. And I'm telling you, that's something that I've noticed across the platform that is, I've seen great things, and just great experiences in leadership. And I've seen the opposite.
Right.
And I've seen that no matter what, those people are following. So another reason why I think it's important that we understand what our purpose is and know our voice, stay true to your values, get up there, do your live, do your thing. And so that you have an opportunity to lead people down a path that's healthy.
Right. That's a good point. A lot of people are watching you. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yes.
It's not just about buying and selling, but you can either lead people astray, or you can
Right.
either lead people in the right direction. And
That's
it's
right.
important. Yeah, it's important to just understand if you're doing a live show, people are watching. You don't know who's watching. You don't know how old they're watching, but somebody can learn something from you, or they can be led astray in regards to what
Oh
you're saying.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you're as good as what you surround yourself with. You're going to conform, even if you don't feel that way. So if you're spending time in a show for hours or every single day, and it's down a path that's leading you astray, you're going to become like that.
You are.
I always ask myself, even with myself, is this adding any value to my life? Is this
Right.
contributing to my growth? And if it's not a show for me. I would rather find a show that contributes to all those things. And I'm more apt to supporting that host, not because I like their items, but because I respect and value their message, and
Right.
that they are taking the opportunity to lead their viewers down a path that is a righteous one, a healthy one, that's not going to take them down a path of greed or animosity and cattiness and jealousy and competition. And I do competitions, but they're healthy. It's more collaboration. It's team collaboration that
Right.
are designed to challenge your growth, but it's healthy. It's not like to be vindictive or malicious in any way.
Right. What about, I think some people, they may compromise their integrity on Posh and other people's shows just to kind of get their name out there so they can
Yep.
get more viewers, and you know what I mean? Because I see like it's becoming a lot about being known, and who you know and how many viewers you have. So what about the people who are concerned about that? They're just, they'll do whatever to just kind of get out there. What do you think about that?
So there are some people that I know that do that, and I keep in mind a couple things. One, we're still on a selling platform, and people are here to make money,
Yes.
and for some, it's their only way of income. So I understand the hustle. You gotta, sometimes you feel like you have to be a certain way, especially if you're in a show that most likely you're going to get sold. You sort of just you do what you need to do. But I always say, I remind them of the scripture that you can't serve two masters, right? You
Right.
can't serve both money and God.
Yes.
And you're going to either love one or hate the other. And I always say, first seek his kingdom and his righteousness, and everything else will be added on to you.
Hey, you better
So
preach
meaning,
now. You better
telling
preach.
you,
You doing some
if
preaching, ain't
you,
you?
no preacher on this part, but I'm telling you, if you seek God first, the
Yes.
money will come.
The
Because
money
he
will
wants
come.
us to make money. I mean, we can make money and be successful in our businesses as long as we're doing it with intention and as
Right.
long as that we're doing it with integrity and honesty. So if we're seeking him and they're like, you know what, I can sell my purse here, but I really don't support X, Y, and Z. If you're
Right.
seeking him, whether you're going live and he opens up a source of income for you on Posh or another avenue outside of Posh, he will provide financially.
He will provide. He will
So I
provide.
remind people that if you find yourself conforming or feeling like I got to do this in order to be seen, then what you're doing is you're getting validation from the world. And that tells me that you've forgotten that your identity is through Christ, not the world, not me, not
Right.
any show host. And so that's the part where that strength and that knowledge of who you are really needs to come from.
That's right. What's up? Kevin Pitt is in the building. How you doing, Kevin? Now I don't know
Kev,
what's going on. I don't know what's up with Nels, but she said, Tristan, ask her if she is in anti-medication meds. I don't know what that means.
if
I
I'm
don't know
on
what
it,
I don't know. Hey, you gotta realize Nels.
oh, am I anti-med? Am I
Yeah.
anti-med?
No one knows what she be talking about. That's what I'm saying. You gotta kind of just move on.
Melly, like, am I
Yeah, I don't
against it
know.
or am I on it?
I think she may be on it, as a matter of fact. Not the anti, but anyways, let's keep moving because Nails is that Nails or is that somebody typing for Nails? Nails, did you get your computer hacked or what? Somebody hacked your computer
Nelly
and typing crazy
Belly?
stuff. I don't know what's going on with Nails, but there's another question. Um, Somebody asked us, I think, are we going to Posh Fest? Somebody wanted to know that. Are you going to Posh Fest this year? Nashville, Tennessee.
When is it?
It's in September. I think the 13th. Am I right about it? Reese is going. She says she's going.
Probably. I didn't go to the last one because it was a little much for me. It was like
Yeah,
all
me
the way in
either. I didn't go.
California, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
go. Yeah. You plan
Nashville,
on going?
though, is a possibility because that's only an hour for me through for flight, and Nashville's like my favorite place on earth.
Yeah. So I might be going this year. We'll see. Crystal and I may go. I want to meet some of y'all. I want to meet y'all
Me
in
too.
person. You want to meet
Me
y'all in person.
too.
Hey, Reese says money isn't the issue. God wants us to prosper and he will provide. It's the love of money that is the root of evil. You better preach, Reese.
Amen, sister. Yep.
Bishop
Amen.
Reese, Apostle Reese is in the building.
Amen. See, she knows. And I love having
Yeah,
people
she
like her in
knows.
my shows because like if it's people like that are in my shows, they can minister to the other people in the chat because
Yes.
they have the wisdom of God.
Right.
So absolutely. She's got some wisdom, that's for sure.
Okay. She wants to know if are you taking any anxiety medication by chance?
I am not.
Yeah, she is not, Nails. I don't know. Yeah.
Do I
Yes,
need to
absolutely.
be?
No, I
Do I
don't know
need
what's
to
going on.
be?
Nails, are you all right, Nails? Yeah. To be clear, Jennifer says, I said money because I struggle. I do not love money over people. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we should have a get together. Absolute affluence. We're gonna have a get together. We're gonna have a get together.
That'd be fun.
Yes, I want to meet some of y'all because I want to see if y'all are as crazy in person as y'all are on Posh.
Crazier.
Yeah, crazier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, um, inspiration, leading people to Christ, is your main focus, your focal point. What do you believe in them? Now she wants to know if you believe in
Do I
in
believe in
anxiety
anti?
medication. Yeah.
So, okay, I am not one of those people that don't think medicine has its place. They absolutely do. It depends on the medical condition. Like if you have bipolar,
Okay.
schizophrenia,
Uh-huh.
if you are going through some of these deeper, yeah, there's a place for medicine. I will say this though. We live in a world where the pharmaceutical is a multi-billion dollar industry. I would
Mm.
advise people to, if you're going to be on antidepressants, for example, there's
Right.
always a route, right? To depression or anxiety. There's always usually a route. Taking the medicine is just going to be a band-aid. So if you were to go off the medicine, you're still going to have those issues.
Mm-hmm.
So getting to the going on those meds and then trying to find out what is, is it hereditary? Am I going through something? Is there something that I have? Because sometimes it's an unhealed trauma. You have a
Mm-hmm.
wound that hasn't been healed and you just need that healing. And then you
Right.
can wean off the med. So I think they have a place, certain medications, but I also think that a lot of times people just pop them to just sort of mask what's the root cause. And I'm a big believer of ripping that root right out because that's how
Mm-hmm.
you're going to really heal.
Yes, good question. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully that
little
answers it.
Hope this answers the question. Hey, again, we're live. You have questions for our host, Dreamer's Chase, in regards to well, we can see she's a very spiritual woman of God. So I'm sure she'll be happy to encourage you there if you have questions there. Also about Poshmark. She's very experienced in doing live shows. And so if you have any questions there, just post them in the chat and we'll get them to our host. What are the benefits of doing a live show? What do you think some benefits are?
Oh gosh. I mean, I think that question would vary depending on who you ask. For me,
Mm-hmm.
it's the connecting with the amazing women and men that I've connected with, getting to know them personally. I just had one here fly in from New Hampshire that I met out in Poshmark. She stayed with me a few days. We went to a banquet. We went to yoga. We did some fun things.
Okay.
It's getting to know people. And getting to hear their hearts and their stories and just the opportunity to speak life into them is the biggest
Yes.
benefit for me. Now, the non-ministry part, like for the sales part, because,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, again, it is a selling platform. It is a business. It does. I mean, if you go live, that is going to be your biggest opportunity to make the most sales. If you
Right.
go and do your own shows, people are going to support you. So, I mean, if you're looking at it from a money aspect and a connecting aspect, which I do, then those would probably be the two biggest benefits for me.
Yes. I liked how number one was getting to know people and just
Everything
um yeah, the whole thing is bigger than Posh.
much bigger.
Much bigger. What about trolls in the chat? Do you have any trolls in your show? I would imagine that your type of show doesn't have trolls, people come in and be tripping in the
You
chat.
know, I've had a few. I mean, nothing that is just like, I'm not a huge host, right? I mean, I don't know if got like 200 plus people, what that looks like, but I've had a few, but we just
Hmm.
clear the chat or I just ignore it. I'm really good at turning the other cheek. I just ignore them. There's the no contact, just let them go. And if it get
Right.
like, I can remember maybe a couple times where somebody we just cleared the chat. And I mean, we could just block them or mute them. But
Yes.
for the most part, no, we're pretty good. I don't have to deal with that kind of, the biggest thing I got to deal with is sometimes people going at it with each other. Like you can see them getting snarky with each other
Yeah. Yeah. You can
in
see
the
that.
chat. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an
Yeah.
opportunity to talk to them about, listen, guys, you know what? Let's resolve this in peace or take it offline. So again, it's always an opportunity to set an example of how to resolve any kind of conflict.
Yes, it is. Another thing I liked about you that draw me to you was you and I, just like I was telling Diana, you and I have we have a sense of humor, which I think is also important. Yours is a little bit different. You sometimes I don't know if you drink. Sometimes I don't know what's going on with you, but we're both funny, and I like your sense of humor. So you have a serious side in regards to
Mm-hmm.
ministry, then you laugh and you like to joke, and especially you come in my show. When you come in my shows, I used
I
to think
love.
somebody hacked your phone because you be typing stuff. I said that can't be Mel. That must be somebody else. I don't know who that is.
Well, the
But yes.
reason for that T is because number one, I remember you saying this, or did you say it to me? I can't remember, but you said, you think you did say it to me. You wanted
I
to
say,
do Posh because it's the lighter side of, right? And you make people laugh. And one of the things
yeah.
I love, and it makes me, it's a breath of fresh air to come into your show. And
Oh, thank
you
you.
read every comment, and it's
Yes,
hilarious. So when I type
everyone.
funny things, I like it when you read it out loud in your little voice that you do. It's hilarious. I couldn't
Yeah.
do that on any other show but yours.
Yeah, I just read everything because then people, and then you get to see how many typos. It's amazing how many typos we have on Posh. I read everything. If you say it incorrectly, if you type it incorrectly, I'm gonna say it how you say it, how
He's
you
reading
type
it
it.
right off the teleprompter,
Yeah. For example,
as
look,
is.
look at this. She just typed this
Jennifer, yes.
You see, even though I
Yes.
can read it, I can read everything. I'm a good reader now. You know what I mean?
That's
But
why I
yes,
just do like goofy stuff because it's just so funny. I've had a couple people like kind of like not snap at me because I think they're sticking up for you. They don't like know who I am and they think I'm messing with you or whatever. And I
Miss
have to
D.
remind them like I'm just playing with them.
Miss D does that. Miss D would say, "Hey, hold on, slow down. Wait a minute now." She be sometimes she's often 30 minutes late. I'll be like, "Miss D, that happened 30 minutes ago. You got to keep up with what's going on." But Miss D will do that though. Miss D will do that. Look, Reese says same here. I only act the way I do in his show. Yeah, I
Right?
guess y'all
I
feel
do
like
too. Like it because you do
what's
that. That's a gift though. That's a
you come
gift
y'all
because
you come I'm the only show y'all come in and you feel like, oh, I can act a fool in this show. Let me just act a fool.
have
And
fun. Like it's one big pajama party and I could be my weird because I am weirdo. I'm a weirdo. I'm
yes,
a
yes,
weirdo. I'm
we can tell. Yeah, yeah. Um, I act normal in a few other shows, but I'm not on the streets anymore. Oh, I love Miss D. No, Miss D. No, Miss D. We never had an interview. Actually, Miss D is only a. She's not a seller. She's a buyer only because she
is a
has.
buyer only. Wow.
Yeah, she has a closet, but it's just her picture. I think it's a picture from 1919, but back in the day. But it's just her picture, and she got a lot of money. That's why anytime you're only a buyer and you don't have one item in your closet, but people know you, that means you're a baller. You know what I mean? You and
You
her
know,
have something
I
in
do
common.
remember seeing her in your show. I know Nels is in there not a lot. I know Jennifer Rodo is in your show a lot.
Jennifer Rodo,
Big
yes.
Meg is in your show. And it makes me happy because, that's what I mean by connecting, right? Somebody is always, you're always going to have people that connect with you. And when
Right.
they connect with you, it's like ride or die. And that's important to have that.
It is, yes. There
So every time I
you
come into your show, I see everybody.
yeah, it's
I
always the
see the
same
same people.
people.
Yeah.
It's all the same people, and then that bursts into other people's, they meet other people through my show. So I like to see it as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. It's
Strictly business.
networking.
Yes, yes.
I agree, Reese. I agree.
Yeah, Threads of Reese in the building. Now for the people, what was I gonna ask? How fast can they expect an item from you? If they shop your closet, when will they get the item, you think? How fast do you ship?
Well, I gotta say, gosh, I hate being honest sometimes.
Be
That is
honest.
something I gotta improve on. It was one day. That has
Okay.
changed because of my schedule. So I think if you go on my profile, you'll see I think average of 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because of my schedule. So my goal though is to get it back to 1 to 2 days. But with that being said, if somebody needs something, like if you're buying a gift for somebody or you bought something that you need, I will ship it out the next day. It's not like I'm not even in a position to ship it out. I will work it into the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
If you like say, hey, look, can you ship this out the next morning? And people have done that, where can you ship this out in the AM? And I've never had a problem doing that. But again, my goal is to get it back to 1 to 2 days. But right now I think it's like the average of like 3.
Okay, that's not bad. At least it's not a week like some
No,
people,
it's not. But I
you know.
also know a lot of the people buying for me, right? I know a lot of times they're not in any rush for it. But if it's somebody
Right,
that's
right, right.
new, if it's somebody
Mm-hmm.
that's new, that's pretty important, right? So I will always send a message and say, thank you for, your purchase or whatever. I plan on getting this out. If you need it sooner, let me know. And usually
Right.
9 times out of 10, they're fine with it. They're not in a rush. But just
Mm-hmm.
for like personal reasons, I want to get that up. But that's where I'm at right now.
How important are love notes? Not love notes. Like what do you call them? Thank you cards
Reviews?
and stuff.
The
No, no,
reviews.
no. well, not reviews, but the thank you card, stuff you put in the
Oh,
package. Should somebody
um,
should people put things in the package? Like some people put gifts, some people put candy, some people put stuff that gonna go in the trash anyway, and some people just put thank you cards. How important is that to just include a little something in the package when you send it?
I think it's really important. I think it gives it that personal touch.
Hmm.
Don't have to write a novel or anything, but handwriting a
Right.
note. And for me, I loved it. I do that with every one of my packages, which I do want to speak to that, for a second, because I don't know if some people are familiar with stacking, or
Stacking,
like
yes.
they're keep and resell. The
Hmm.
whole goal of that is so that that person can make a little extra money, right? So I've seen people send gifts that are worth more than what they were selling, and I strongly
Wow.
encourage against that. I
Mm.
I, I encourage against that. Just write a thank you card. Give them a lollipop. Or something real tiny, but
Yeah.
don't feel because
Now and later or something. Yeah. What? Why?
yeah, don't
So why are you against that? As far as a gift, that's more than what they bought.
I shouldn't say I'm against it. I know the reason why people are doing it. They feel very thankful. And we naturally, if you've got a good heart, you want to give too. You want to have a way of saying thank you and blessing that person back. But again,
Right.
looking at the business aspect of it, if
Hmm.
somebody is telling you to keep and resell something, that is so you can make extra money off that item, not to turn around and because I want to see people grow in their business,
Right. Right.
not just to recycle money. You buy from
Hmm.
me, then I'm going to spend the money and buy from you. I'm guilty of doing that sometimes, where it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have goals, but I keep recycling back the money and we can easily fall into that trap. So I'm just suggesting if somebody's stacking a $30 thing for you or, telling you to keep and resell a $30 item, don't send them $100. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying that kind of defeats the whole purpose of them giving you that opportunity. Instead, I'm telling you, it'll be more meaningful anyway.
Hmm.
Write them a beautiful card or a note. That will always be more meaningful.
It's kind of like people who like. What do you have to say about the people who they don't believe they can get a large amount of sales per item, so they just do $5, $3, and they're kind of afraid to run it for what it's worth. Maybe they want to get a lot of viewers because so they do $3 starts in their items, and then they make 5 cents. They sold 5 items, only made 5 cents. Like Reese is a perfect example. She doesn't care about the low start. She don't care what people think about it. She will run things for what it's worth. She runs stuff for $45,
Yeah,
$50, $60.
good.
You know what I mean? But some people they don't think people are gonna buy, so they do $5 and $3. But kind of what you just said, it's about making money. You want to see people grow. So don't be afraid.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be afraid to run an item at for how much you think it's worth.
Well, and I always tell people this. I always say, like, and again, everybody has different sources, right? Maybe that person got the item for free, maybe they got it really cheap. But if they bought it at like a regular price or whatever, I always say this, it's not just you got to consider the time it takes you to actually list, right? So you're sourcing, then
Right.
you're listing it, and then you got
Mhm.
to package it. First thing you got to
Yep.
sell it, then you got to package it. What are you
Yep.
paying yourself?
Mm.
If you're driving it to the post office, there's your time, there's your gas,
Yep.
packaging materials, which includes, the tissue paper or whatever else you might get to throw in the box. So if you
Mhm.
have like a purse that's, worth $50, $50 is a fair price and you're just selling it for 5 just to be seen or just because you feel like you can't get a sale, I'd advise against that. I would
Right.
wait because there's a buyer for every single item. And if it's not moving quick enough, then it's either a matter of building your closet more. Are
Mhm.
you in the right shows? Are you networking enough? Are you making the right connections? Is your price set fairly? Because the unfortunate thing with Poshmark that I feel that we need to just to be careful of is it is a low start platform. And we sort of devalued a lot of the brands. So
Right.
it's just another Kate
Good
Spade.
point.
It's just another Michael Kors. It's just another Dooney and Burke because they're
Right.
so used to these low starts. Well, no, it's not just another Michael Kors and another Dooney and Burke. And
Right.
depending on what type of bag, right? So we got to really just stick to that. And I think if you're somebody like Reese, she runs it at the item to make
Yes,
money. People are going to
exactly.
respect that. They're going to respect that. Yeah. Yeah. You check the comps and everything. Yeah. And so I don't ever want to see anybody get robbed on a low start. But again, everybody, I don't know what they got that item for. But even if you did get it for free, there's your opportunity to make as much as you can off of it. Don't give it
Yeah,
away.
yeah. It's almost like it kind of like you say, it kind of devalues the brand because,
It
like for
does.
example,
Mhm.
Vera Bradley. I remember when a time Vera Bradley was very popular on
Oh
Posh.
yeah.
Now you can't even give away a Vera Bradley because now
$5
everybody,
I see them running for. Nobody's
yeah,
biting.
$5, $3, nobody's buying. But if it would have stayed at the consistent, whatever it was running for, it'll still be selling. And I see that, like you said, with Kate Spade.
I've seen
It's
a
like, man,
downslide in Kate Spade. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because people are running everything low. So it's like it's not worth anything because it's only $3 in everybody's show. That's interesting.
Watching LV wallets running for, yeah, it's got minimal wear,
Right.
75, $85. Nobody's grabbing it. And it's like,
Nobody's
guys,
getting
this
that.
is Lux. This is
Yes.
Lux, you know? And it is. That's the one downside, I think, to these low starts is that it really has conditioned us to think that these items don't have value. And
Right.
they do. They
Yeah.
do.
And it causes people not to make money because nobody's buying.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
What I
isn't
have
good
an
for Posh.
It's not good for Posh in general. Yes. Um, you sent us something else here. Let me show this. It's a picture. Uh,
Yes.
stack number one. Is that what that says?
Yeah, that was just one of my admins that this is a picture from our Christmas show that we had. This is a picture of one of the girls. Actually, Carla is her name. She ended up
Mhm.
going live for the first time after the Christmas show. This was
Okay.
her after she sold her mystery box. So this is just a
Okay.
snapshot of her.
And you spoke about stack earlier. For those who don't know what that is, because I've seen it. I think the first time I've seen or heard of that term stack was I think I was in Deal Picky's show, and everybody was stacking everything. What is a stack? If they go to a show and they hear stack after it's sold, what does that mean to people who don't know?
A stack is when somebody says stack, that means that they are essentially paying for that item.
Hmm.
And then they run another item. So then the host will run their second item and then hold up the picture of the item that person stacked. So that person that's bidding on that second item is going to get both items.
Get both items.
They're going to
Yes.
get both items. It's a way of paying it forward. Now the downside to stacking is that it can get really confusing. And
Hmm.
sometimes people don't know who they're sending the stack to. So we encourage to send, take a screenshot so you know where these
Yeah.
items are going. And then
Right.
the person who stacked, you send a thank you card to. But it's really just somebody's way of paying it forward.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. I've seen it in your show a lot. I would imagine it happens in your show often because it's all about being a blessing. In your
They like
show
to stack sometimes, not every time, but once in a while.
once in a
Yeah.
while. Now this here, what's going on here?
Same thing. So this is Gigi Rose Thrifts. This is someone I've, built a connection with here on Posh. She's a live seller host too. This
Okay,
was just a picture of after she sold her mystery box. I just got a couple snapshots of what the show looks like, of bringing them on screen.
oh, on your show, bringing them on camera.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep. This was on the big shows that I have.
okay. Now I remember this one.
Yes. This is the
She had
Christmas show.
she
Yeah.
had a very powerful testimony. I believe
Big
this is her.
testimony. Yes.
Yes, very powerful testimony, and she shared it on your platform, and everybody was very encouraging. And yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Why do you feel like that's important to have people come on and share their testimony as we wrap up here? Why do you? How's that? Why is it an important thing? You think?
Well, it goes back again to like you said it a few times. It's bigger than Posh. It's
Right.
not when we're on social media, we have a tendency to dehumanize. We
Hmm.
not that we don't think we're human, but we kind of go in that robotic mode, right? And it's really hard to make genuine, authentic connections without really bringing to life who we are. And
Hmm.
the power of testimony. I mean, it brings hope, and every story somebody else out there can connect to is leading them to hope. So whether you got through addiction or you survived cancer, somebody needs to hear that story of redemption and hope. And it also brings people closer. I mean, when you get to know, like, wow, this is a real person going through real things. This isn't just a bag in the tray or a necklace in the tray. This is a human being that is trying to make ends meet. It just solidifies that relationship. It just makes that connection that much stronger.
Yes. Yeah. We are overcome by the blood of the Lamb.
Praise God. Yes. Amen. Amen. Not
our
AM.
Testimony. AM. I don't know. Hey, I'm gonna say that next time I'm in church. I'm gonna say AM. AM. They're gonna say, sir, first of all, it's nighttime. What are you talking about? This is a night service. Is he all right? Did he come with you? I meant amen. Excuse me. Amen. AM pastor. AM pastor. Like I was saying, I don't know. Like I was telling on my show the other day, some pastors, how they do the hooping and hollering, and the Lord, he said, he would never leave you, or forsake you, You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say AM, Pastor AM. But my thing is, this is my thing. If you, let's say you preach that way, the Lord, he's a healer, he's good, all the time, but then right after the show, right after church, they're talking normal. They're like, "How you doing, Tristan? Good to see you, my brother." I'm like, "Hold on, wait a minute. What happened to all the What happened?" You know what I'm talking about? I don't understand. You should come up to me after church and say the same and be the same way. "How you doing, brother? Did you enjoy the service? I like that shirt you have on. We're going out to eat. You know what I mean?" And then when you get to the restaurant, you should still be the same way. The waiter come on, "How's everyone doing? Can I have, what do you like to order? Any water, any soda? Yes, give me an ice water, and get a lemonade, hold the lemon, and then have some extra sugar, What are your specials for the day, You should always do that. I never understood. I never understood how you turn it on and turn it off. I don't get it. But Reese, you might want to try that, Reese, on your show. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, share to the tray. Reese, she always likes to welcome folks in. Anyways. Oh
my gosh.
Yes,
that was
very
fantastic.
Kind of you, Jennifer Roto. Yeah. But yeah, so as we wind, we're a little over an hour here. I don't want to hold you long. As we wind up and wind down, I want to hit you with some quick hitters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna hit you with some quick hitters, and you can just tell me A or B.
Okay.
I have to go off the dome now because I don't have it here in front of me. Let's see. Daytime or nighttime?
Like in general?
Yes, in general.
Nighttime.
Okay. Fast food or cooked meals?
Cooked meals.
Cooked meals. Okay. Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Oh, do you have any cats?
3.
Well, I want to know, how come every time somebody has a cat, they have more than one, except Nails. Nails has a cat.
Because they're amazing. I'd be the crazy cat lady if I could.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cats. Okay. I'm a dog. I like dogs, but yes. Cats. Okay.
I like dogs too, but I just like cats.
You like cats. Those are hoofers who preach like that. Aunt Kim, what's going on? I bet you, Aunt Kim, you seem like you go to a church like that, Aunt Kim, that do all that. I know you do, Aunt Kim. Don't try to play us. But anyways, how about movies or TV series?
Probably movies.
Movies. Okay.
Yeah.
Over TV series. Okay. Yeah. Shoes or flip-flops?
Shoes.
Water or fire?
Water.
I always ask that. It don't even mean anything. I just want to see.
It's life.
Yeah. It's like, I have a question for you. Now, do you really have a bladder problem, or do you just be saying that you're funny, you're just being funny in your shows, or do you actually?
I'm not diagnosed. I'm not, okay. But when I laugh really hard and I'm getting older, like if I laugh really hard, it pushes on my bladder and then there's leakage. So, I mean, did I go to the doctor and they're like, "Hey, you have this weak bladder"? No, it's just if I laugh very hard, pee comes out.
If you laugh hard, urine comes out.
So yeah, I mean, it's just pee.
So on my shows, you wear Depends on my shows, don't you?
I've had to go to the bathroom a couple times on your show.
If
Yes.
anybody, if you're a Posh seller here, if you have any newer tag Depends, tag her in it. Make her
Just
offer.
that would
Give
be
her a
a
discount.
perfect stat gift.
There'll be a perfect stack gift.
Send me a Depend. Send me
Send her,
a few Depends, and I'm good.
send her some Depends, and yes, my bladder is a sling. I don't know what that means, Nels.
It's a
Bless
compliment
her
to
heart.
you, T. You're funny. You're funny. You make people laugh so hard we pee.
Okay.
Megan.
Yeah, who Megan? What's going on? Bless her heart. I'm gonna stack some Depends next show. Yeah, stack some Depends. Now, what size do you wear, Mel? I'm assuming you make a large, medium, large, somewhere around
I've
there.
never even worn Depends. I don't even know how they come. Medium.
Medium. Give her a
Medium's
medium.
good. Doesn't
Send
even
her a
matter.
medium. It don't
Yeah.
matter. Send her a medium. Send her something. What color do you want? Don't matter. It's gonna be
Hot
underneath.
pink.
A hot pink Depends. Do you have any? If anybody, I'm gonna ask it on my next show. If anybody has any hot pink Depends, put them in the tray. We'll run them low start, $3 start. We'll run a $3
Oh my
start on them
gosh, I would
Depends.
so buy those.
Yeah, we'll do a
I
$3
would so
start.
buy those.
Yeah, it can't kill. Yes. But anyways, if there's any more questions, you can ask us right now before we let our wonderful host go. But if not, thank you again. You know, we can talk all day. I can have you come back on some other time and we can talk more and more
This
about this
is,
as well.
I mean, I'm honored that you asked, and I cannot thank you enough. Any other time, always undies and amazing. Don't ask me. Reese, I love you. I love
Always
her.
undies.
No, and
Yeah.
I just really appreciate you doing this, T, and I'm proud of you because this is an example of somebody that has purpose. You take the show, you use it as the lighter side of, you make people laugh,
Yeah.
you give them a space to be able to be them goofy selves and take off that hat that so many of us have to wear. Not that we're being
Mm.
fake, but it's our silly side. And
Right,
we
right,
feel
right.
safe doing that. And you're doing your Poshcast, and you're also bringing the community together. And I have a lot of respect for you. And it's why you're one of my favorite postures. I know you think I'm kidding, but I'm
No, I
not.
don't. I
I,
believe you. You're one of
I
my
do.
favorites
I
as
mean,
well.
you're one of my ultimate favorites because not that I just stalked all your Instagram videos, and I know you're a man of God, but it's how you're utilizing your platform and the things you're doing. I mean, look at what you're doing. This is amazing. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliments. You're one of my favorite postures as well, even though, sometimes I don't know what's going on in the chat with you. But yes, one of my favorites. Always inspirational. Again, guys, if you're watching, you can catch a dreamer tomorrow. Mel, a dreamer's chase. Tomorrow. She's going live tomorrow. What time tomorrow? Monday?
Tomorrow it'll be 2:35 Eastern time.
2:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to
Yes,
see
sir.
some good items in the tray, if you want to be encouraged and motivated to just be better and go after your dreams, go after your goals, you definitely want to follow her on Poshmark at A Dreamer's Chase. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, and of course, every Sunday we'll have a new guest. Next Sunday, we're gonna have another amazing guest, 6:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the TDT Poshcast. So again, thank you, Mel. I'll be in your show tomorrow. And then, of course, on my show, I want to thank you by just putting a lot of your items in my tray and just, telling people about your shows again. So I'll see you hopefully next time on my show as well.
I'll be
But
there.
thank you. But thank you again for coming out, and everybody who have joined this afternoon. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Poshmark at TDT Garnett. And thank you for helping me, get this thing launched. All the past show hosts, of course, yourself, Mel, still getting it off the ground. So thank you for being a guest, and thank you all for watching.
Absolutely.
It helps me get this off the ground and move forward right here on Posh. Tristan, are the trolls people that come to your show and say nothing? No, trolls are people that come. I thought you were a troll. Matter of fact, Kim, when you first came in, but no, trolls are people that just come and they just you be like, what are they talking about?
They're bleep stirrers.
They're bleep
They just
stirrers.
like
They start
to
crap.
Right. They start crap. They just
No,
say whatever. Yeah.
yeah, no problem, Reese. Thank you. Yes, Mel is an amazing person. All right, Danielle, Nell, have a great night. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Remember, this is live.
Thank you.
Go back and share it. Subscribe at the TDT Poshcast. Follow me on Instagram at the TDT Poshcast. I'll see y'all this coming Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, catch Mel tomorrow on her show.
Yeah,
as
I hope
well.
to see you guys, and you too, T.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Thank you guys for being here. Love you all.
All right, y'all. See y'all later on the next one. We out.
It's always first the blade like ball fades. Echo when I let go of this praise in the hallway. Special, the way he wrestled with the devil. Come on. The pedal to the meadow while leveling up all day. Yeah. It's always first the blade like ball fades. Echo when I let go of this praise in the hallway. Special, the way he wrestled with the devil. Come on. The pedal to the meadow while leveling up all day.